So I was concerned about offering the best level of teachers of program. That's why I chose you and other teachers. But what I didn't expect is to hear words like I was in a safe space. Uh, they talked about healing. Can you imagine this? I had a student during one private lesson. She told me, you know, Katia, what we are talking about all together, we are saying that for most of us, this camp is meaning healing.
Welcome to the Monique on the Mic podcast. I am Monique B. Thomas, and this is episode 30. Now, today we are talking with a dear friend and colleague of mine who has put together this incredible vocal camp, an international vocal camp, and we want to talk to you about the benefits of being at a vocal camp. Now, this vocal camp just happened a few weeks ago, and so we're just going to give you a quick recap of that. Hey everybody, please give a warm welcome to my dear friend, Katia Losito. Katia, how are you doing? ¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? I'm very well. Thank you for inviting me to this amazing podcast.
No, thank you for coming because I know how busy you are. You have so many projects that are ongoing. Thank you for inviting me to your recently very successful vocal camp in Bari, Italy.
Yes, and you know what? You were one of the best choice that I could do. Every participant is loving you, still thinking to you, to all the support that you gave them, to all the information you gave them. So we are already waiting for you coming for the next year.
Well, I appreciate that, and I loved working with each and every one of them. In fact, the reason I invited you is because I wanted to talk about this camp because I had people, in fact, I had a student today whose name is Katia, who said, "Oh, I really wanted to be a part of that camp. Is it already over?" and all that stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm talking to her today about this camp so that people can know what it's about, who it's for, and how it works, and why would you want to be a part of the camp.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to talk about, because I know that you're a professional teacher, you work with students from all over the world, and you work with professional speakers, you train people to speak better, and you've got some other projects. Why would you take on this project of putting together a vocal camp?
I started the camp with a vision to create a unique environment where individuals can deeply engage with music and singing while building connections with a diverse group of participants. So our aim, and I am talking maybe also by the side of all the teachers, was to provide a space where people can develop their talents, they can connect to other people and make a memorable human experience. So for me, singing and music are about connection. We connect with the audience. When we sing a story, we connect to our soul, and we connect our soul to other soul when we sing. So it's about a vision that all of us have about life. So an event like this is basically a connection creator.
I love that. So it facilitates a connection with other like-minded singers.
Yes, it facilitates a connection, and it helps you to grow. That is a very important thing. Not only by about a point of view like just singing, but as human. And I think that nowadays we really need something like that. We need to grow because we are not just professional. We are at first human. So if we can grow as human, then we can grow as professional.
I really love that. I don't think most people talk about it that way. That first we grow on the human side. And that can roll over into being a better professional. So that kind of helps us to stay human as we grow our businesses, whatever that may be. I love that.
Yes, you know what is like when you get some informations, but you are not wise enough, and you don't know how to practice that informations.
Right.
Those informations are unuseful. So
yeah, it's useless.
Yes, yes, and
Yeah.
I really think that all the things start from the goal that you have in front of you. The reason why you are doing something, it builds all the things that come after.
Speaking of which, so you put together this very inspiring camp where all these like-minded people from all over the world, how many different countries?
12 different countries, which is something
So
I
12
am
different
very
countries. Yes, and you can be proud of that. 12 different countries of people came to Bari, Italy, where some of the best food in the world is. I have to be honest, my stomach was pleased and unpleased because I ate way too much. But they all came to be in an environment where they could be better humans and better singers simultaneously. And I want to say that you did it. You made that happen because that was the goal of your camp. The goal was not to have 150 students where it becomes kind of like some sort of what I'd like to call McDonald's of teaching, but a smaller group where each person felt like a person, not a number, and they got individual attention, whether it's in the private lessons or in the group classes, because the classes weren't too big. And you made that happen. And I could tell that the students left there with a sense of hope and with some keys to develop some of the things that sometimes they didn't know they needed to develop, or things that they actually wanted to develop. So in both cases, that's very positive. Now, you talked about information, and it's important to notice that since COVID, people are reacting differently to information than they were during COVID. When we were all closed down, we're all at home and everybody's on the internet because that's all we had to do, right? And so people were taking in information. But information is not knowledge.
Absolutely.
And I think what's happening now is people are tired of information because they're realizing they're overwhelmed with bits and pieces of unorganized information. They're wanting and needing somebody to actually hold their hand and walk them through a process in order to get something done. And so your vocal camp, that's what you were able to do. Yes, there was information, but there were people who care, who were there to actually help everybody get closer to their goals. Now, your camp this year, this was the first year.
Yeah.
And it was a short camp, but still very much packed with a lot of information. It was 3 days. It kind of, in my opinion, was like a wonderful way to introduce people to some new ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about that?
One of the standout aspects of this camp was that and I didn't expect this because I was looking for something very, I don't know how to say, professional. Having just studying during a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
You and other teachers, but what I didn't expect is to hear words like I was in a safe space. They talked about healing. Can you imagine this? I had a student during one private lesson. She told me, you know, Katia, what we are talking about all together, we are saying that for most of us, this camp is meaning healing.
Mm. Tears.
Just yes, yes, because it was something, you know, hearing that this camp is an healing, it's really a great thing. So this put me in the condition of think to what I can do to keep this. I want to keep this spirit.
So during this absolutely lovely interview with Katia, the internet monster decided to cut off parts of the recording and switch some of the volumes around. I mean, all kinds of crazy things happened. But I really wanted to salvage this recording and make sure that this episode still came out. So just bear with me if some things did get a little cut off, but I think you'll get a good feel for why I decided to keep this. Let's check out the next part. Put the team together. So if you are enjoying the team, you have yourself to thank for that. You had a vision and you executed it by choosing a team that you felt would best fit your vision. But there's something you forgot. Anybody that's going to come to this camp, you've got to love Italian food. Who doesn't love Italian food?
I don't know. we have a secret hashtag that is named KFC. I don't know if you want to say more about this.
Yeah, listen, I nicknamed the camp Katia's Fat Camp because we were constantly eating. And shout out to your husband, Giuseppe, who was in charge of putting the food together.
Yes.
Well, he didn't cook it, but he curated. He decided everything that we would be eating. And every day he was just so proud. He was rubbing his hands together. He's like, today we're having this, and then we're having this. And he paired it with wines. And by the end of the camp, I said, this is not a singing camp. This is Katia's Fat Camp.
So funny. Funny.
But, you know, it's like when you've got a community of people together, what usually happens when you get together with people you like? You eat!
You eat, yes, of course.
And eating great food is like, that's the cherry on top of an already very, very delicious cake, you know?
Yeah.
So what is it that you're looking forward to for next year's camp? Because there will be a next year, right?
Yes, of course, there will be a next year. Because most of the people, I would say, all of them, all the participants of this year, they say that they want to come again for the next year, and we are having already some requests about the next edition. So for the next year, we want to introduce several new topics, and maybe other teachers will be involved. We have this quote: the best program, the best teacher, the best place. So we cannot improve the place and the food. Italy and food are amazing by itself. So, but we can look to how to improve the program and guarantee the best teachers. You are, of course, again one of them, and I think that I will come out with the new program in 1 month, hopefully.
Okay. All right. Are you planning on keeping the format where mornings are for private lessons, those who want them, and then the afternoons would be different classes, themed classes taught by different people?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes,
Wonderful.
and we are planning also some other stuff related with vacation, for example, discovering the place. Of course, it will be not a must, but if someone want to make this, he or she will have the opportunity to do it. These and many other things.
Am I understanding that you mean they would get to visit a little bit of Bari or the Puglia region?
Yes, because we have some amazing places like Alberobello, Grotte di Castellana, Polignano a Mare. Bari,
Okay.
they are simply amazing. So it's a good thing once you are here and once you have
Just go
paid a
ahead and visit.
flight, you have the chance to
Yes.
also to visit. Yes,
Oh, that is awesome. I think even as a teacher, I'd like to do that.
yes,
You know, I love traveling, and often the work that I do doesn't, even though I travel, I usually work, do what I'm doing, and then go
yeah,
back home.
yes. It's
I
sad.
rarely have an extra day to visit. And fortunately, the way my flights worked out is my flight was at like 5. So you guys graciously took me around the city of Bari. And of course, Giuseppe went and bought fresh made focaccia. And we sat there in Bari with a view of the sea, eating fresh. I mean, it was so hot that we had to wait to eat it.
Yeah,
I think I burned the roof
yes,
of my
yes,
mouth.
yes.
But it was great, and we visited. Was it the cathedral there?
Yeah, Saint Nicholas
Wow.
Cathedral.
Yes, Saint Nicholas Cathedral, and Saint Nicholas, if I believe, was a Russian.
Yes, yes. Bari shares this saint with the Russian. Yes.
Okay,
Now,
so I mean, so much culture.
yes, of course. And remember, Barry is calling you. He's calling you.
Me calling me. Listen, ever since I left there, I'm thinking, okay, what would life be like if I lived in Bari? It's been spinning around in my head. So
It will
you've
be
planted that
amazing.
seed. I'll get back to you on that. But my kids got to grow up and go to college, and then I can think about moving.
Yeah.
But listen, here's what we'll do. I want you to give me all the information, and I'll put it in the show notes for anybody that's looking for a place and time that's safe, where they can dedicate their whole self to their artistry. Because I think that's something that people don't quite get. You know, when you take a voice lesson, that voice lesson is in the middle of a day where before you're thinking about the problems you have, and after you're thinking about the problems you have.
Absolutely.
But when you take your butt to another place and you're there for a few days, it's not that your problems don't exist, you're just not thinking about them.
Yeah.
And so you're more apt to have the information that's coming into you, plus you're in that safe environment and you're motivated by the other singers and the teachers, you're more likely to gain a whole lot. So those 3 or 4 or 5 days are packed, and you're going to leave there not with just information, but usable tools that's going to get you so much closer to being the singer that you want to be. So what we're going to do, you're going to give me the information. I know you're still in the planning stages, so there's nothing concrete yet, but you'll give me whatever you need to give me so that people can start looking, because as Katia mentioned, the places are going to be very limited. She doesn't want a overly large camp because she wants to keep this safe space. So for those of you listening, I want you to go ahead and check out whatever links she's going to give me, and check them out regularly as she updates over the year so that you can secure your spot for next year. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you, Monique.
Well, listen, it has been such a pleasure talking to you. I want you to know that coming back from Bari has been a major experience for me. Beautiful food, beautiful place, of course, beautiful people. And I should have put it that first. Beautiful beautiful place, beautiful food. The place and the food, they're going to have to fight because they were both equally beautiful. But as a teacher, I have to, how should I say this? I'm very protective of the spaces that I put myself in.
Yeah.
Because I'm a human too, and I'm an artist too. I'm very sensitive. And I love to be in spaces where it feels safe for the students. It means it's safe for me. Because I think one of the things that people think, they think if we're a teacher or a master teacher, whatever you want to call it, I actually don't like the term master teacher, but sometimes we have to use it for marketing. But they might think that we think we're perfect and we know everything. We do not.
Yeah.
We are not perfect. We can make mistakes. I do make mistakes. But being in that safe environment means that I feel better about being the kind of teacher I've always wanted to be. And the kind of teacher I wanted to be is one that shows you, hey, we are human, we do make mistakes, and there's room for that. And so that makes it a lot less traumatic.
Yes, but you know what, Monique, we grew making mistake. We grow, sorry.
Yeah, we grow by making
mistakes.
Yes.
We grow, yes, making mistakes. We don't learn anything from something that has not mistakes. And so again, as you said before, it's very important to feel that I am in a place where I am free to make a mistake. So that is the way throughout we learn and grow.
Yes. And so to finish this out, I just want to say, for those who are interested, do not make the mistake of not signing up next year.
Yeah.
Make sure you keep an eye on this camp as it's being put together for next year, and you're going to want to sign up because the spots are very, very limited. Yeah. Katia, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
And discussing and sort of putting a voice to the person behind this wonderful, safe vocal camp. I wish you and your family all the best.
I wish you the same. Ciao. Ciao.
So even though this episode is a little bit short, it got cut off and I just salvaged what I could, I think you still get a sense for what the owner and the producer, or how should I say, founder of a vocal camp is like. Here is somebody who really cares and who puts together a team of people that are experts in the field, and she really wants you to have a great experience. So I would say your takeaway from this particular episode would be, if you are a singer, even if you're a beginner singer, or if you're an experienced singer, and you're looking for a safe place to either start learning your craft or take your craft to the next level, you might want to consider coming to this camp in Bari. It's partially vacation, and just vacation because it's just a change of space. You've got the sea there, so it's very beautiful, but we get work done, and there's also a pool. But I think it's important for singers, at least several times during their career, to give themselves a space and time where they're just dedicating themselves to learning their craft. A lot of times people are, I don't have the money, I can't afford. You can't afford not to, at some time, make sure that you're in an environment where you're surrounded by other singers who are doing the same thing. So I urge you to look at all the links that I'm going to give you surrounding Katia's camp for next year. She's putting all of that together, and to keep in touch so that you make sure that you're up to date on when camp registration starts. Thank you so much for listening to this, and I hope that this has enlightened you on what a camp is, because maybe you've never been to a camp. And if you've never been to a camp, you're definitely going to want to come to this one because, again, it's beautiful, the food's great, and the people are amazing. Thank you so much. Musically, Monique.